Yo guys, welcome to my update video for my Glacial Cascade Totem. This is like the Hierophant version. To start things off, I'll run a map first. If you guys want to see lab videos for this, I make a lab video every day for with this character. And this is also going to be off the build that I made a couple leagues ago. It's going to be the tree is pretty much the same. It's just I tried the Hierophant version this time instead of the Scion. So let's run a map real quick. And then I'll show you the gear after. So I decided to try the Hierophant out because it was, I kind of liked the buffs to it, and my goal was to use the faded version of Adziri's shield at the beginning of the league, but I didn't realize how rare it was going to be, so I couldn't like complete the build the way I wanted to by utilizing Soul Mantle.
Flex you on these fine days.
But I find the Hierophant a lot better for mapping because you have like massive totem placement speed, so it really helps with, you know, just drop a totem, go, drop the totem, go, drop the totem, go, type thing. I also have a Taste of Hate, but I feel for the mapping part of the character, it's not really that much needed. But this is my lab runner for now. I'm actually in the mix of making another lab runner. And slash Uber Elder runner, so I'm a totem guy, so I'm trying to make it work with totems. Just got Valorant of Arrows there for a second. There we go. So my gem setups are pretty much the same as they were in my other video, but I'll quickly go over them in this one. I'm not going to go into great detail because I went into really good detail in my my Scion version of this build from a couple leagues ago. So when you do a boss, swap out AoE for Conk Effect.
I must have time to gather my will.
Like I said, it's not, you're not killing them instantly, but it's like slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race. AoE back in. And I'll also link in the description below my other build as well, because there's going to be information in that video that's important that I won't be covering in this one. So that was a map. So for my tree, it's pretty much the same as it was with the with my Scion. Obviously with the Scion I came out here and went this way. So this build I'm Templar, so I came up here. So my thing with the build is it's non-crit. It utilizes Elemental Overload, Mind Over Matter for defense. I get a lot of casting speed. I only get one AoE node because I've explained it in my other video that getting a lot of AoE for bossing is not good on GC because you actually start losing damage. Unless you're GC mines, and then you can just do whatever you want. But I had to get this dex node. I would like to remove it, but I need the dex requirements for something. That was one thing that was always really hard with this build was dexterity. My jewels are just life, a damage mod, and dex because I need a dex. And then resist. I've kind of filled my holes with the totems. Like that one doesn't have life on it, but I thought it was pretty decent. I can't remember how much I paid for these jewels. They're pretty. I've had them for a while. Like global. This is kind of the stats you want to look for: spell damage, global physical damage, cold damage, life, totem damage, area damage, whatever. There's any other jewels? So here's another one. I was surprised like I only had a couple of life, but that's another decent jewel right there. That one's pretty good with the reduced mana for even though the Hierophant's really good for mana and stuff. But those are the jewels I had. I go up here, try to get as much cold penetration with this build as I can. I am dual curse. Deep Thoughts, a little mana regen, it goes a long ways with Mind Over Matter. And then for my Ascendancy, where's the thingy? I went up to Ritual of Awakening first. All this totem placement speed that you get is really nice. I was thinking of going Arcane Blessing, but I proc Arcane Surge with my Flame Dash, so I found this was kind of a waste. So I went down over here. You get tons of mana from this, a little bit more Mind Over Matter stuff. And then this node's really nice because on my Scion, I think these totems were 220 or 230 mana. So you get that, plus you get increased mana from less mana reserve and stuff. It does come with a negative thing with the mana cost of skills with Arcane Surge, but I did figure out a way around it. So I'll show you my gear. Like I said, this build was originally planned to use Soul Mantle and Exili's Reflection, but I didn't realize Exili's Reflection was going to be so expensive. So I'm actually still in a tablet, but where's my Carcass Jack? So I was planning on using this instead, but I put so many fusings into it, it just does not want its 6-link for me. This is a pretty good alternative for the Soul Mantle part. It's still not going to increase your damage as much as Soul Mantle, but the 48% increased area damage is really nice. Like right now my tooltip with no buffs is 17. I guess I can't really show you as those are my links. But it gives pretty nice damage. Some resist, some life, and it's pretty good, but I haven't been able to 6-link that, so I've just been using a tablet. The good old tablet. That works fine with this build. So for my shield, I just wanted to fill resist, get a little bit of damage. It's not the greatest shield, there's definitely better out there. My gear on this guy is not the greatest though. For my amulet, you pretty much want spell damage, cast speed, life, resist, all that fun stuff. There's actually no life or anything on here, but I thought this amulet was okay for what it was. Like I said, it's not that good, but 36 to all stats is pretty nice. You get a little bit of life from that. And then the spell damage, the cast speed, ES, little bit of, it helps a little bit. You get some ES on this character. My belt, life resist. Make sure you get a rustic sash for the fizz damage, or you can get an abyss belt and put in, like, adds blah blah blah, cold damage, physical damage, cold damage, physical damage, life, resist, cast speed, totem dam. I don't know if there's a totem damage one, but just stuff. Cast speed is really good too. My helmet, I just bought the enchant, and I just alted it until I got a life and a resist or whatever. I regaled it, crafted another resist. It's not that good, does the job. The enchant's really nice. You want the physical damage converted to cold damage because we dual curse, we penetrate a lot. We use frost bomb to lower the resist and everything too. I've explained that in my other video. My rings are kind of poopy, but they do the job. This one's actually pretty bad, but I just got it to fill my resist holes. I can definitely upgrade that one to like cold damage and opal ring. I think you can get cast speed on a ring. I can probably get more damage mods on that. It's not that good, but for an Uber Lab farmer, that's pretty much all I need. This ring, I can't really take it off because of the dex. Oh, I can. That means I can respec the node. Alright, well I had it for dex. It just dex some resists. Like I said, it's a really bad ring. But for what I needed at the time, I just wanted to get in the lab. I was farming lab fine. And then whatnot. If you can't get this helm enchant, I would recommend a Hrim Sorrow. I don't know if I have any in here or not. There might be some in here. I tossed in the guild bank. Let's see if I can find one real quick. Oh, there they are. So you would want to get a pair of these if you can't get the helm enchant right away. They go for like an alk. It converts all your cold damage to, or physical damage to cold damage, so GC starts at, it's 100%, but the gem converts 60, so this would convert the other. Gives you a little cold damage, some resist. It's not terrible. But with this build, to proc Arcane Surge, I use Flame Dash. But I found out pretty quickly that when you have this, when your ES is full, your Flame Dash does not cost any mana, so you can never proc Arcane Surge. So I was thinking, what can I do to like fix that? Like I didn't know what to do. And I was looking at Dordre's gloves, or Dordre's, or however you say her name, the upgraded version, which these are, that gives like a ridiculous amount of spell damage, chaos damage to spells, blah blah blah. But it also gives you 50 total mana cost of skills. That bypasses the 100% reserve from this. So your skills will now always cost at least 100 mana, or 50 mana when your ES is full. So that will allow me when I Flame Dash to proc Arcane Surge, and it gives me, it's a pretty significant buff. Like it goes from 17-4 to 21-4. Like that's 4k dips just from that. Just from Flame Dashing once every few seconds. So I can quickly go over my links. They're pretty much the same as my other character. Oh, and here's my wand. It's not the greatest, but it actually adds quite a bit of damage. So you get the increased mana cost of skills, which goes on top of the 50. Massive cast speed, which is huge for the totem build, and then the chaos of spells. Like I was actually surprised. I didn't even go out and buy this wand. I was like looking for an upgrade. But I just found it. I was like, oh, I'll try it out. I'll try it out. Mana cost of skills, you know, I got reduced mana a lot from the Hierophant. So it seemed to work pretty good. Ideally, you want to get a scepter, a Shaper Scepter that gives you extra damage as like cold. I think there's cold, chaos, random element, and something else. Like get something like that on there with cast speed. Cold damage to spells, something like that. You don't need crit. Just lots of damage. It's your stat stick. So this works pretty good. I'm sure you can get this for like a jeweler's orb, because I never thought I would use this turd, but you know I am. So with these two in conjunction, you can keep the keep Arcane Surge up. So for gem sockets, I got Arcane Surge, increased duration, Flame Dash. You just want to make sure that you keep the mana cost of Arcane Surge lower than Flame Dash. Like mana is 68 right now, and this is at what is it? 64. So that's as high as I can put that. It gives you nice mana regen. It gives you more spell damage, so a more multiplier is always good. More cast speed, or increased cast speed. For my helmet, I got Frostbite, Curse on Hit, Orb of Storms, Elemental Weakness. We are dual curse. So the more you can lower your resist, the better. Make sure you quality at least your curse on hit. I just flipped it. I'm not sure about elemental weakness or frostbite what to do. I think they just gave AoE. I'm not sure if they give like better curses or whatever. In my shield, I got Frostbomb. Frostbomb, just leave it at level 1. You're just using it for the debuff. The thing about Frostbomb is I believe bosses resist curses and stuff. I don't think they resist the -20 cold res from Frostbomb, so if you're only single curse, Frostbomb's actually better against bosses than a curse. And then you got Arc and Calling Strike, so I use Arc to call it. I like it. You can just select the monster, bang, dead. It's like pew pew. In my boots, I got Summon Lightning Golem, cast when damage taken, Immortal Call, Molten Shell. Just your standard. I don't know what it is with me and Molten Shell, but I just like to throw it up on a cast when damage taken. You can take Molten Shell out if you want and put increased duration for Immortal Call. That is your call. For my gloves, I have Clarity, Hatred, and a Portal Gem. I don't know what I would put in here. Maybe Enduring Cry if you really want to, but I'm not a big fan of Enduring Cry with this build because you got all of the trying to find my but you got all of the oh, there it is. It was already in my inventory. All of the, what was I talking about again? Oh, all of the totems and stuff out. It would just taunt the enemy to you. And then for my chest, like I said, I'm just using a Tabla with increased AoE, or if you're doing a boss, put in Conk Effect. Glacial Cascade, first one of the league, and I corrupted it to 21. I got really lucky there, so it saved me a little bit. If you don't have a 21 GC, I would recommend leveling up 6 of them in your offhands, like on your weapon swaps. Go in here. I'll go over the gear in there in a second. Spell Totem, faster casting, cold pen, control destruction. You can put elemental focus in here if you want. Doesn't really matter. I think LA focus gives you a little bit more, but I just like shattering stuff. If you had a soul mantle, a 6-link soul mantle, you would put in control destruction or hypothermia, whatever. If you want to just freeze everything, they both do good. This elemental focus gives you 5% more. My weapon swap, this is my lab runner, so this is my movement stuff. In my Brightbeak, I have faster attacks, leap slam, fortify. In this one, I'm just leveling up some Herald of Ices because everyone loves to play auto bomber. So I'm gonna try to get a 2120 of Herald of Ice, and because they usually sell pretty good. For my flasks, for lab running, I use this setup. So I have a bubbling divine life flask of staunching. That's my bleed removal. Ideally, I want to get one over here as well, which I do, but the mana flask isn't the greatest, but it works. And then I got a panic divine life flask. I love panic flasks. This flask is pretty bad. I can always roll a better one, but panicked is nice going through lab because if your health gets low, it's just like boom, your health's full again. A Stibnite flask to remove curses. This flask is not bad for lab. I just have it for my curse removal. I like Stibnite. Run up to Azaro, pop it. He's blinded and half of his stuff will miss. It's very powerful against Azaro. Taste of Hate. You know, extra fizz damage is cold damage. Defense, it's like the perfect flask for this build. And then just a mana flask. Ideally, you want one with bleed removal and increased recovery rate, not reduced, but increased recovery rate's really good. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anything. For mapping, just swap out a Quicksilver with Taste of Hate or something. Or the Stibnite, but just make sure you have a curse removal somewhere. I've made quite a bit of currency on this guy. He's just my standard lab farmer. Just to do a comparison with this one and my Scion. My Scion has an extra golem that I usually use the stone golem for the life regen. This build has the same life regen. The problem is you need your totems out to get it. So if you're going through like a trap sequence, so for instance the golden key, the one with the really hard trap sequence, where you have to like go left and then right, just drop your totems in the room before. They will give you the life regen so you can like run around and be safe, give you that extra bit of life regen with the mind over matter stuff. I hope I'm not missing anything. I'll put a link to my tree in the description below. For the Scion, it's just easier to get immunity to curses with 2 Kikazarus and then the Guardian thing. You lose the Golem, but with this you gain like so much totems placement speed. You gain 4 totems instead of 3, which I was hoping with the Atziri's thing that I can get up to 5 totems. But it's so rare that it's just not good. But I hope this guide was helpful. Like I said, I didn't go too much detail how the build works because it's in my other guide video, how the build works, how GC works, and all that stuff. I will put a link to it in the description as well. Yeah, this is my lab farmer. You guys were asking for it, so here it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit the like and subscribe button. Help the channel out a lot. I also stream on Twitch at www.twitch.tv/JimandJammer. Thanks for watching and have a good one.